Hey, what's going on, guys? Back with another video here. Haven't been able to do too many lately because I do not have an office, and I'm kind of subjected to the kids, and my little kids are always running around making crazy noises, so it's hard to get time to do these. But I'm going to try to commit in the new year here to doing maybe 2 to 3 videos a week. There's a lot I want to cover, a lot I want to go through. So what I want to do today is go back through some of the stuff I talked about in the previous videos about. Now, if you haven't watched the first couple videos, feel free to scan through or check them out. We found a product, talked about differentiation and just how to source it. And now I'm going to show you kind of some of the information. So let's check it out. So here's one of the responses I got back from Mrs. Emily Hu. And she gave me, this is the whole kit here. So if you haven't seen it again in the previous videos, you probably don't know what we're talking about. What we are talking about, this is some of the things I've been looking at, we'll cover here in a moment, was a magnet fishing kit. Or let's just say, just type in magnet fishing, and that'll come up. So we have all these different magnet fishing kits, pretty neat. The numbers look pretty good. Not sure how good they'll look today with Christmas. Really slow time of the year for a lot of sales. My sales on my main product have dropped off significantly. I had days where I was doing $400 profit like every single day on one product, which was amazing. Now I'm like 20-30 bucks a day. So, give or take. So just keep that in mind. Like, this is a slow time of year for a lot of things. So, the numbers are going to change dramatically. So, at any rate, the numbers still actually look half decent here for this magnet fishing kit. And I see there's some new people on the market here, but the reviews are really low. Got a new one right here. They're already doing one sale a day, but yeah, so it's still wide open. This is what we were talking about in the previous video, just sourcing this. So I have, in fact, this is somebody I sent what we wanted to. 250 test order, wanted to know the UPC code, sticker, the whole deal. And here's how easy it was. She came back with information, just regarding the whole kit. Right here, it includes gloves, 500 pounds of pulling force. All parts are packed into one carton. That's for 250 sets, and it's $8.55 a set. That's not bad. I mean, let's check out the numbers real quick. So let's find a comparable. It's a 400 pound. That's 570. Let's take this one for example. Let's just sell them for 35 bucks. Let's just say we can sell ours for 30. So really, let's check out the numbers here. So, they just started off. They have 3 reviews. We can see their rankings pretty good. 3.79 pounds. Their fees are around 10 bucks. So we could assume that our fees would also be somewhere around that same amount. Now, they just have a magnet here. They also have the rope, and they have the kit. So if we had a similar size, and they have the rope, the gloves, the whole thing, and then they have I need to learn how to say that word, carabiners, probably butchering it, whatever that is. Let's go down to, this is a nice setup too, very nice. Let's check out just the size. So here, if you guys ever need the size, what you do is you scroll down. It'll give you all the information right here under product details right here. So you can see they don't have a ton of reviews. I'm not sure what they're doing in sales every month. They just kind of get started. They're doing 9 sales a day. That's fantastic. I mean, good product, still going strong after Christmas, which is good. It seems to be anyway. And not a lot of reviews. That's awesome. So really, what we have here is, here's your dimensions, here's your pounds, and if you had something similar to this setup here, what you can do, so we've already sourced it in the previous videos, which I've talked about. we can actually, let me see if she tells us. I think that might be the weight. 25 kilograms. Let me ask my Alexa how many pounds 25 kilograms is. Alexa, how many pounds is 25 kilograms?
25 kilograms is 55 pounds, 2 ounces.
So 55 pounds, 2 ounces. So that must be for the whole thing. So if we take our calculator and do 55 pounds divided by 250, so that can't be right. 2.2 pounds, move the decimal over. My math is bad. But no, so what, like maybe a couple pounds. Let's just assume our costs are going to be somewhere similar to theirs, because we have a similar setup here. So right around $10, right? That's probably a good way to kind of get an average of what it's going to cost as far as your average fees. And a lot of times, JungleScout's really good for this, guys. So, you know, it gives you the fees. It doesn't always show it. Doesn't like give you a listed quality score yet because there's just not enough information. It gives you the pounds and the weight. You can probably figure you're going to be somewhere similar. So, really, you can look at multiple samples and kind of get an idea of that. So, what I'm thinking is $10. We pay $8.85, so we're at $19. He's selling it for $35. He could be making $15, $16, $17 a sale here. That's pretty good return on your investment if you go by your initial what you put into it. Now we've also got to figure out shipping. Now the shipping could get a little pricey, so let's assume, and I just noticed from experience, probably $3 more per item, probably for shipping if it's that heavy. One of my items is a little bit under that, and it adds about $3. Depends on how many you order. So we're not going to be doing too many at first. It's probably going to be around $3 to $4. So let's just say $4. So $8.85 plus 4 puts us at $12.85. $12.85 plus $10 in fees. So let's just say like $12.75 plus that. So say about $22, $23 in fees. So you could roughly, and that would honestly, I'm going on the high end. You're probably going to get a little bit under that, running around 20. I'm going to guess. But let's say $22, $23 in fees. So he's probably making $11, $12 a sale. He's probably making more, honestly. And it really depends on how much you order. If you do a $250 test order, you're not going to have like a great price to start with necessarily. You could still do well though. What I mean by that is once you start ordering 1,000, your shipping costs are going to go down because you're shipping more at once. So that will affect your overall cost. So you have to factor that in. So let's just say he's making $11, $12 a sale. He's probably making more. That's not bad. I mean, he's doing 9 sales a day. Right there. He's making over $100 a day on one product. You know, if I can make $100 a day on a product, that's awesome. Imagine you get 4 or 5 products doing $100 a day on the average. Yeah, I bet that's more than you're making today. More than most people make. And that's every day. That's 7 days a week. That's not, 5 days a week. That's not getting out of bed and going to work and driving and commuting and all that mess. I mean, just consider that. You're going to make potentially, even, let's just say with advertising, he's still making over $100 a day with 9 sales a day. So if he's making $13, you take that $3 for advertising, it's probably less. He's easily making $100 a day, I would say. So, if you can get, like my goal, if you can get 5, 6, 7 products that make you $80 to $100 to $120 a day, I mean, you can make $400 or $500 a day. That is not far-fetched. Now, is it realistic to think that every product you launch is going to make you $100 a day? Probably not. But there could be products that make you $200, $300 a day. It just depends on a lot of things. Is it seasonal? What time of year? How well did it differentiate? Did you find a good product that had low competition? So there's a lot to it. It's not always that simple. What I would recommend, if you're not great at product research yet, is to find somebody who knows a little bit more about how to read the numbers, maybe buy a list off somebody. I'm considering coming up with a list here Might just do like a $25 tier. I haven't decided yet. Maybe 5 products and how to differentiate them every month. It's consideration. I'll keep you guys updated on that. But yeah, this would be a great product to sell right here. I have heard concerns about magnets. I would caution you to do your research with that prior to selling these on Amazon. Again, anything I talk about here, this is just my own opinions. You know, you guys feel free to act on them if you'd like, but again, I'm not telling you to do anything. So make up your own mind about things. I'm just saying a lot of these guys are doing similar things and they're making a killing. You could probably find a couple different ways to differentiate a more powerful magnet. Maybe add in 2 magnets, like a dual magnet. I've seen those where they split and you can actually get even more of a grip and more of a surface area to cover, which I think would be cool. So yeah, there's a lot of different things you guys can do. So what I want to do today as well, we've talked about how to source this stuff from Alibaba. Right here, I've got a quote. She's given me all her information. Feel free to use this one if you want. She's even sent me pictures. So pretty cool. Not coming up. But anyway. So, this is just one example. I could have sent out multiple and got multiple things back regarding this. I've already got a quote from her, fishing magnet right here. I've sent some information to this person. So I've gotten a lot back. I mean, they're giving me prices right here. That's too expensive, but I really like this one here. So I would probably start talking to her if I was going to do this. And I'm betting, I could probably make at least 50, 60, 70 bucks a day on this, if not more. If I differentiated it well and get good pictures. So this is just kind of how it all gets started, guys. I've covered it in my previous videos. How do you find a product? I want to do some more product research today. So we're going to go through some product research and cover, kind of how to find some other winning products here. And there's a lot of other methods I use. It's not this simple, but sometimes it is. You can just sometimes you can find a great product in a matter of minutes. But let's see what we can find today. I'm going to try out Niche Hunter today, and let's take a look. So anyway, any questions about the magnet or about what we did with that, please comment, please subscribe. I'd appreciate that. We'll check it out. Really a great product. Still has great numbers. But anyway, I digress. Let's get back to product research. So let's try out Niche Hunter today. I've already kind of put in some parameters. What I want to do, I chose arts and crafts, automotive, industrial, scientific. So I want to go average price. So you can use any settings you want. I tend to like, Niche Hunter is a little tricky. I tend to use Opportunity Finder. I think it's great. But let's see what we can find with Niche Hunter today. So I'm going to do, and JungleScout, I love it. I'm going to put a link in there. If you guys decide to get it, it would really help me out if you use my link. JungleScout runs all kinds of great promotions. Check it out. It's a great software. You can find a ton with it. Definitely recommend it. So I'll put that in my link. So let's check it out. So we've got here's Niche Hunter. So for those that don't know, we've got product database, which is a real nice one. You have different filters for price, rank, all these different things. You've got product tracker, which I'm not tracking any products. You can, if you find like an ASIN that you want to track, you can track that. You can actually add it right from the Chrome extension, which I think you kind of have to have if you're going to do this. You have to have something like this, either Helium 10 or JungleScout. I love JungleScout. I have not used Helium 10. I've seen it. It seems like it's a great tool. I just haven't used it personally. I tend to like JungleScout, but it's really the only main one I've used, and it's really all you need, I think. Opportunity Finder, we've kind of covered this real briefly in the last one, and I've continued to use this one. It's kind of hit or miss at times. And then Niche Hunter. Let's try out Niche Hunter today. So if you don't have Niche Hunter, if you don't have JungleScout, or if you have JungleScout and don't have Niche Hunter, it does cost a little extra. If you email them, they're always great about answering questions. JungleScout, I've always found they have great customer service. So you can always add it on. I don't think it was too much to add on. I can't recall exactly how much it was. But with Opportunity Finder and Niche Hunter, it's fantastic. So I love them both. But Opportunity Finder more so. So let's try out Niche Hunter today. I have put in some basic parameters. I'm gonna go with an average price of like $15. Um, and I'm just gonna let the top part go. So average units sold. I don't really want to mess with that. Obviously, if you do go more average units sold, you're gonna pay, or you're gonna find less stuff because it's gonna be, higher demand. Competition. I'm gonna keep this to very low to medium, and listing quality score. I want at least like a 7. I don't care about the word count. I know in some other videos people have mentioned word count. I figure if we find a product, we can always kind of go and find what other couple words might describe that. So I'm going to leave that alone. Niche score, I want it pretty high. So I'm going to get like 7. Okay, let's see what we can find. So again, I've chosen 3. Well, I haven't chosen any categories here. I'm going to choose arts and crafts, automotive, industrial. I tend to like these ones. I like a lot of others. Tools, sports. That's kind of a tough category. There's a lot of tough categories. Cell phones, electronics. Those are tough. I mean, what I found that a lot of people are finding products in would be like your arts and crafts, industrial and scientific, kitchen and dining, home and kitchen, health and household, even pet supplies or patio. If you're looking for more seasonal ones coming up here, if you want to get one ready for the spring, office products. I mean, a lot of people use these. These are pretty open categories that you're not going to have too much competition potentially. You might be able to find a nice product. So just consider that. Let's take a look here and see what we can find. So I was looking at these earlier. Birch boards painting, right? So the average price $25. Average units sold 3,000. Very low competition. Listing quality scores an 8 and niche scores a 9. Now, the funny part is, and I don't understand why Niche Hunter does this. When you that was the fishing magnets. When you actually pull this up, so we just type in birch boards for painting because that was 4 words, and you could just type in birch boards. It probably comes with the same thing. And what I wondered, like, everybody's selling maybe slightly different sizes. I think it's the same place selling pretty much all of these. Yeah. Okay. U.S. Art Studio. There's a couple other ones in here, but this is completely being dominated. Completely being dominated by one seller. And it's not like it's like low demand. So I don't know. If you were to add maybe like birch boards with like some paint, if they're for painting, but I don't know. I wouldn't really mess with it. It's being completely dominated by one seller. So, but if you wanted to try that out, maybe add a paint kit with it as like an arts and crafts type of thing. I think that'd be a good idea. Something to think about. You don't always have to kill it. I was looking at a seller today, and he has like 40 or 50, he has like 52 products, I think it is. And like he's kind of nickel and dime everything. And what I mean by that is he has so many small products, but he'll sell 5, 6 a day, 7 a day, 8 a day. Sometimes he'll sell 3, 2 on all the different products. And maybe he's only making a few bucks, but he has so many products. The guy's probably a multi-millionaire. Really, you can kind of do it that way. You can keep launching these mini products and build up from there. Or you can kind of go for a home run. Now, I did notice the gentleman, oh, it might be a woman, I don't know. The business that I'm looking at, I mean, they had one product that was in electronics that was killing it. Actually, I don't remember the name, but it was like just some headphones, right? It was just like a 3-pack of headphones. And they were killing it. They were doing like 50 grand of revenue a month. But they were making maybe like $3 a piece off of them. Maybe more or less. But they were selling like 100 some a day. So I think that probably gave, and they launched that in 2017 in December. So 2 years ago, they launched a pack of 3 headphones that makes 50 grand in revenue a month, which is crazy. but they probably are funding everything else with that huge product. So it's nice if you can get one product that like kills it. You can fund so many more. But the point is, he's doing all these little projects, like all these little products, one by one by one, which just maybe, like I said, maybe he's making a few bucks, but maybe he's selling 5 a day. Well, if you have 52 products you're doing that with, and even if half of them are making you 40 bucks a day, you can imagine how much money that is a day. So that's the power of Amazon, guys. You don't have to crush it, but it's nice if you can find a product or two that can make you a decent amount of money. They can make you a couple hundred a day or 100 a day that you can build off of and use that money. And it would be great if you could find 5 products a day that do $100 a day. It's possible. But you can also, it depends on kind of what approach you want to take. Do you want to go smaller items that are going to make you less, that you can do more volume? I tend to like the bigger items, the heavier items, but I might go littler or smaller this time, I should say. I don't even think littler is a word. Smaller this time, and I might try to find something that can do well, just maybe make me 30 bucks a day. That adds up. If I can get 5 or 6 of those, hey, I'm making more than I'm making now. So you got to think about it that way. How do you want to differentiate? If you can add in a bunch of smaller products, if you can get 8 or 10 ASINs and you have some smaller ones and some bigger ones, the smaller ones and the bigger ones, they might kind of offset each other. It depends on what type of products they are. Maybe you could do multiple seasonal products that kind of come and go. So it depends on how you want to structure your business. There's still so much opportunity on Amazon, despite what people might say. It's an opportunity of a lifetime. You can make money, but it's going to take money. It's going to take a ton of hard work to get there. But I would have been ecstatic when I started just to make 20 bucks a day. Like that adds up. You know what I mean? So, like I said, if you can get enough products where you're making a couple $100 a day on a regular, then that's where you want to be. I mean, to me, that would let me quit my job or at least go part time. I mean, $200 a day, 7 days a week, $1,400 times what? 52. There you go. You're making like 60 some grand a year, probably more. I'm not doing the math, but so consider that, guys. I mean, how do you want to structure your business? Everybody wants to start with something small, and that's great. But if you can get a bigger product, sometimes that's a better idea. Maybe a few pounds. So keep that in mind when you're doing this research. It's you don't necessarily have to hit a home run, but it would be nice to have a nice product that's going to help you to, if you don't have a lot of money, to keep going. So anyway, let's continue on here. We're not going to sell any high voltage power converters. Backup camera, no. Let me just look through here. Don't even try to keep track of these guys. I'm just kind of flying through here. A jump starter with light. This is probably a saturated market. Yep, and it's electronic, and it would be tough to get into, and it would be pricey to get into. If you had the money, maybe, but let's not go there. All right, let's keep looking here. I think I've come across these before. Melt bead kit. I'm pretty sure I have. Well, not what I expected. No, I don't think I have, actually. So, definitely an arts and crafts thing. The niche is good here. This is Amazon Scout, the free extension. If you guys haven't gotten it, just look it up. You can add it to your bar up here. Amazon Scout Pro. I mean, I don't have the Pro version. I just have like the free version, but it gives me this little number down here. I like it. It gives me an idea of, before I even look at JungleScout, what I'm going to come up with. Let's see. Melt bead kit. See, this is coming up with like a fuse bead kit. So, well, let's see what the numbers look like. Okay. High demand, medium competition. So let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and okay. So like 7 out of 12 are below 70 reviews. There's a couple of 80s in there. That's not too bad. A couple of higher ones, but they might not necessarily be related. Fuse bead kit. So let's actually type in. Let's type in fuse bead kit rather than melt bead kit. But I'm assuming maybe they're interchangeable. I have not seen these before. Kind of neat. Really. They're really kind of neat. Okay, let's check the numbers out here. So, and what am I looking at here in the numbers? So the revenue looks great. Right here. Demand's high on competition. You can't always go by this. Average review is 75, but let's actually count them up. So we've got the first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 of them are below 70 reviews in the top 12 here. Not sure why they're popping up like that. They don't have any reviews, and they're only doing 4 sales a day. But still, no reviews and 4 sales a day. It's pretty good. We might have actually found a decent product here. Yeah, I'm liking the looks of this. It looks pretty neat. I don't know a whole lot about it, so let's check it out. Let's see if their lifestyle pictures can tell me what it is you do with this. Huh. Oh, that's pretty neat. So if you guys see, you can actually, like, I guess, melt them together and bend it. That's pretty cool. Or if they fit together, look at that, like a Rubik's Cube. Pretty neat, really. On a cell phone case, huh? A mat. So you can do some pretty cool things with this. This is a pretty neat. This is a pretty neat, pretty neat thing, actually. Very cool. So there we go. I mean, we found one in what, like 5 minutes that we could possibly sell. Now, here's where I would caution you guys. You see these guys using Donald Duck, Winnie the Pooh, Superman. I don't know. I mean, that's clearly Superman, right? And that's clearly Winnie the Pooh and Piglet and Donald Duck. I mean, here's what I would be concerned about. Well, they have it on their front page. Maybe they have a license for that. I don't know, because it's too risky to put that type of stuff like Wonder Woman. You could easily get banned and easily get a copyright issue. And that's kind of something I want to discuss too, guys. Copyright's a big thing. I got a copyright infringement recently, and it was for an item. What it was a stupid move. I actually I used a picture of a competitor's. I didn't mean to. I just wanted I had my listing suppressed, and I wanted to see if I put an all-white picture background, because I had it. This was like an old listing. I wasn't even selling any. I didn't even care about it. I just wanted to see if it would unsuppress my listing. I guess they had found my listing, and it wasn't all-white background, so like it was, but for some reason they suppressed it. I was like, I wonder if I just stick this picture on if it'll unsuppress it. And I totally forgot about it. Didn't even think about it. Like, I didn't even sell any. And within like a week and a half, I got like a copyright infringement. I was like, oh my gosh, like so stupid. But they could have given me that copyright infringement even if I didn't have that picture up, because what I realized about Amazon is, like, even if it's a similar looking product, especially if it's like some of these like as seen on TV products, man, you got to be careful. Like they'll find you and they'll send a copyright. Now, I could have gotten a lawyer and fought it, and from what they've told me, I probably would have won it and at least got it removed. But it would have cost like anywhere between $1,700 and $3,000. Do you really want that? I mean, the copyright stuff, it's tricky. So what I would recommend, once you find a product, assuming this one isn't patented or anything, I'm assuming it's not. You'd have to look it up on Google Patents, by the way. Um, get it trademarked, man. Like, get your products trademarked. And how do you do that? So you go to a trademark site. It's probably going to cost you at least $300-$400 to get trademarked from the research I've done. And you want to go there and you want to get whatever it is, excuse me, that's your brand. Get it trademarked. Make sure nobody else has to get it trademarked. And then everything that you release, get it under your brand name. That way, somebody can't come on and just jump on your listing. You'll be trademarked. That's what you want. You don't want to not be trademarked. It'll ruin you, man. Like you eventually, somebody might just drop an infringement on you after you've been selling something for like 3 months. You just don't know. It's kind of the scary side of Amazon. So make sure you get your products trademarked once you get going and once you get selling. Like I know Paul just released a video recently talking about he was selling like AirPod knockoffs basically. I guess like some of those designs have like a patent or a trademark somehow, not necessarily a patent, but a trademark. And that's kind of the same thing I ran into. The thing I was selling was like a trimmer, like a hair trimmer, and I'm not even selling it anymore. But so I can tell you guys about it. But it was very similar design, or if not the same design of like an as seen on TV product. And they say I'm infringing. And you know what? After researching a ton, like I thought that was like my private label product, and I didn't even sell any, which was funny. Like I said, I didn't even care about this product. Like I gave up on it a long time ago. But yeah, they'll kick you off. Like they'll find you, man, and they'll say you're infringing. And they have high-powered lawyers and multi-millions. So good luck trying to fight that. I mean, you might be able to, and you might be able to get Amazon to remove it. Like I said, it would have cost me a few $1,000s. Is that something you want to deal with or possibly get your account suspended? So make sure any product you're launching, like, you got to be careful. If you put a certain word in there, if you were to put Apple in there, for example, or if you were to put, like, Velcro, the word Velcro in your product listing, like, these words can get you an IP infringement or a trademark or counterfeit. It can get you kicked off quickly. They can get your account suspended. So, I understand a lot more fully than I used to, but it's not what it used to be. Like, it's not what I thought it was when I started it. I thought if you bought something and you put your label on it, you were good, but that's just not true. If you have a product that looks like somebody else's and it looks enough like it, and even if it's not patented, where the customer can be confused, guess what? If they hit you with an infringement, like an IP or a counterfeit, like you're screwed. I mean, you're going to have to pay thousands to get it fixed if you even can at all. So consider that when you're launching a product. How do you tell if it's trademarked? I'm not even entirely sure. Obviously, like you can't sell Nike under Nike. Like I'm not talking about the names necessarily. I'm talking about like the likeness of it. It can happen, and it has happened. It happened to Paul. It happened to me. So think about it before you launch a product. Try not to mess with these as seen on TV things or any major brand like Apple, because they'll eventually could just shut you down one day, and you could lose like your whole business right there. Like it's crazy. So think about that going forward. I dealt with that over Christmas. It was not fun. It did not make my Christmas fun. Just want to let you guys know about that. I'm going to get my products from now on trademarked. I'm going to start working on that. I don't want that kind of trouble again, and I'm going to try to make sure I'm finding products that, I'm not going to get an IP infringement or a trademark issue again. So this product looks real nice, guys, from everything I can see here. So don't use stuff that can get you kicked off. If your pictures have superheroes on it, like Paw Patrol, yeah, I have little kids, or cars, you can get kicked off real easily. So what I'm saying is, Captain America, obvious one there, don't use this stuff in your listing. It could get you kicked off. Yes, other people are using it. Does that mean you should use it? No, you shouldn't, because it'll get you kicked off. So do some, do like a monkey, like this guy has, or the Rudolph, right? But don't do Wonder Woman because it'll get you booted potentially, unless you have a license for it, or unless the product you're selling has a license for it, or you're getting it from a manufacturer. But if it's a private label product, don't put these on there. I do not recommend that. This one looks like it's a pretty basic. Like I don't think this is trademarked. Like cow, is that? I don't know what that is. I don't think it's trademarked. But if I look through here, I don't see any trademark issues. I don't think, except for Snow White down there maybe. But you could probably say that's not Snow White. I mean, I don't know. So really, this one looks pretty good. I wonder what they're doing in sales. 4 day. I mean, it's not bad. And we could do the same type of thing. I mean, their fees around 10.26. It's pretty high, but they're selling it for $30. So we could probably get this kit for 12, $13 or less. So they're probably netting anywhere from maybe $10 or less. I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, it depends on how many they ordered. On our first test order, they're going to make less. So I'm not going to track that. And that's how you would track it, by the way. If you're in your Chrome extension, you click that, the little green mark, it tracks it. So now you can view it in Tracker. So this is actually a real nice market, guys. If you can find a way to differentiate yours, maybe some nice packaging. Question is, what type of tools do you need to do this? So you can see they've provided these stencils. Here's a pegboard right here where you can put them together. Ironing. I think they meant to say paper there. They should really correct that. This is probably a Chinese listing because usually native English speaker Americans don't make those type of mistakes in their listing pictures. That's a big no-no. Or maybe, I don't know, they could be from anywhere, but yeah, there's a lot of potential here. So what I would do here, now that I know the numbers look good, and how do I know that? Well, we talked about the reviews. Demand's pretty high. Competition's fairly low. We do have a lot of sellers, though, underneath this listing. There's a lot. There's a lot. So that would make it a little tough. But I still think you can break into this market. I mean, you got people doing a lot of money here. You got a lot of double digits going down to, even down here. I mean, they're doing, I'm not sure if that's the same thing. Fuse beads, yeah, they just sell 22,000 in a big jar. I mean, they're doing 53,000. They're killing it. So they're not doing a kit. Now the kit, like, this looks like it's a nice kit. And they have 7 reviews. Let's check it out. So 200 fuse beads in 48 different colors. Very cool. Lots of color variations. Ironing paper. So you must have to iron them to kind of fuse them together, is my guess. We could probably look it up on YouTube, which is what I would do if I was going to sell this. Tweezers to put them together. 20 small rings. I'm not sure what those are used for. Key rings. Keychain. So those are if you want to make your own keychain, your own key rings for, you can make your own designs. It's pretty neat. I mean, you could really make gifts for people. This would be great for kids. I mean, obviously, you'd have to have some adult do the ironing. But, yeah, you can make some pretty cool things. This is something I think my girls would absolutely love. And I have 3 girls, by the way. No boys, all young. But they'd probably love this. They could make some really cool things. They can make gifts for the holidays, for birthdays. Look at that. They made a wreath out of that. Now, that's pretty fantastic, actually. I mean, talk about, that's really crafty right there. That'd probably be difficult. At least for me, it would be very difficult. But That's pretty neat. It's like a 3D wreath. I mean, talk about cool. And even look at that little Santa Claus there. So yeah, you could make a lot of cool things with this. Seems like a really cool product to do. It does have a lot of sellers, but look at that. They have glow ones. Now that's pretty neat. So there you go. So here's some ideas here. You know, depends on how you want to market it, but you could do some glow in the dark ones. You could include different patterns with it. Of course, all the tools. Let's see who's doing really well here. That doesn't have a ton of reviews. They're 28. They're doing 33,000 a month. Of course, they have Harry Potter and Superman. Again, I wouldn't recommend that. Yeah. Plus, they're selling them pretty cheap. So, 5,200 beads versus like 25,000. I mean, and they're still doing really well. So it's all on kind of how you package it and what your pictures look like, and what can you offer that other people don't offer. So this would be the beginning of doing the research to figure out what you can do. And again, don't use these. You got to figure out what can you put in here that's going to make yours better. I mean, I really like the plastic case here. Very cool. I like the front. I think this whole thing's very cool. I like the smiling girl. I mean, it looks really cool. I think it would be a really great gift for some artsy type people. So, and there you go. They include just tweezers, ironing paper, square board, so you can put your design on there. So that seems to be, you have to have the beads, of course, the ironing paper, the square beads, and the tweezers. I'm not sure about those tweezers. They look kind of cheap. Maybe include some nicer tweezers in there. Maybe some metal ones with like some rubber ends. That might be good. You really have to get into this and see what other people are offering and how can you make it better. I really like the lifestyle pictures in this. They really show you what you can do with it. That's very cool. They include some keychains with it. They include multiple tweezers, so you could, if you have multiple little ones. And the price is hard to beat here. No wonder this is probably a bestseller, because the reality of it is they're at a great price point. They have a book showing you how to do multiple things. So that's what I'm talking about. Create a really cool book that can kind of show you how to do it. Like somebody like me, I wouldn't just know how to do it. I'd have to look up a book. Or maybe make something you can download. I mean, there's a lot of different options you could do here. You could offer more colors. They're not doing a ton of beads. They're only 5,500 beads, but they're probably selling really well because they offer a lot with it. They offer a lot of tweezers with it. They offer these keychains, which is really cool. They offer multiple peg boards to use, and the book. The book, I'd love to have the book. I want to know where to put my pegs at, because I'm just not that creative. Well, I probably am, but I don't want to do that. So I want to give my kids a book where they can kind of use it, and I don't have to supervise every little bit of it. So yeah, they're showing a butterfly. This is a great listing right here. They don't have anything as far as I know. I mean, you could say that's Tinkerbell, but they could just say it's a fairy. I mean, it's not like you're infringing on anything. Very cool. 13 ratings. They had the holiday pick there. Very cool. Yeah, it shows you kind of how you would do it. First step, put them in, then you iron them with the paper on top. Of course, you'd want to include that in your kit. And then you take it off, and it should be all melted together. So there you go. Very cool. So how could you make this different? I think the big thing is I would want a book with it that's going to have multiple designs. Really nice packaging is very important. I think they've done a great job with this. Nice price point at $27. They give you a ton of beads here in different colors. I really like that. really well presented. Food grade plastic material. I'm not sure what is so important by that, but probably have to be careful too. I mean, with kids swallowing stuff, you probably have to make sure this isn't going to hurt somebody if they swallow it. So that's something to consider. You want to look at that. You want to check the patents on it. And again, how do you do that? So what you would do is you would go to Google Patents and you would search for fuse beads, I guess. Yeah, I mean, you can always pay somebody on Fiverr to do this too. They could do the whole check for you. Like, you can check on Fiverr. Like, so go to like Fiverr, and what you would do. This is just a gig site for those that don't know. You can get a website built. You can get all kinds of stuff done. So what I would type in would be like patent check, maybe. There you go. So they'll do a patent search for you for $80. Eliminate patents. The Amazon listing. You got 4.8 out of 81, starting at $15. So there's a lot of different ways you can do it yourself. But if you really want to be thorough, hire somebody to do it for you, to check for you. That's simple. 50, 60, $100. It's worth it rather than getting your listing kicked off and losing thousands, right? So yeah, guys, that might be a cool product. There's pretty low competition, but there is a lot of listings. So yeah, let's check out some other things. See if we can find anything else. There's that 3D pen again. Keeps coming up. Cover mirror truck. 3D printing. There it is again. 3D printers all over the place. 3D printing pens. So yeah, check that out. I mean, I found something fairly easily right there. I think if you could come up with... There's that magnification kit again. If you could come up with some really good differentiations, a really cool book with like 100 designs, I think that would be awesome. And you could even pay somebody on Fiverr maybe to look it up and make you one. There's a lot of different things you can do. You don't have to do everything yourself. It's always great when you have a great team that can help you, if you can hire people that are experts in it to do it for you. So I'm going to end it there today, guys. Just wanted to cover some things. I know I talked about a lot. And if I were to do this, I would do the same thing. Go to Alibaba, type in fuse beads, and you're going to see it's going to come up with a ton of stuff. There you go. Fuse beads, 1878. That's only for 12 sets. That's very negotiable. But that's a huge kit too. So some of them already have kits that are already put together. You've got to find a way to make it better, to make it different. I would do that through pictures. I would do that through branding. I would do that through adding in all the things you're going to need to do it. But also, and like this one's pretty cool. It looks different. It's got little circles. They got a nice video. Very cool. And I like that little circles, little jars. You can probably detach those, and you can probably take them out individually. That's pretty neat. So that's a way to differentiate yourself. Just the actual carrying case. Plus I would make sure I added in a really great book to show people how to do these things. Have maybe like a keychain section and have a cup holder section. There's all kinds, or just you could do multiple with the patterns. Just add in more beads. But there's a lot of cool things you could do with this. You can see how creative you can really get with this. There you go. Adding different keychains with maybe different, the ends of the keychain. Add in different things with that, as far as like different colors or different patterns, or different, like maybe like a little thing on the keychain, maybe a saying. There's a lot of things you can do. You guys have to get a little creative with this stuff to make yourself stand out. It's not just about pictures and branding. That's very important, though. It's about quality as well. Making sure you have everything you need to do this, but also about adding in something cool. Like maybe add the keychains in with a saying on it. like happy birthday, or number one dad for maybe Father's Day, or number one mom for Mother's Day. I mean, and maybe include multiple things in there. Maybe like love you or something like that on the keychain. What am I talking about here? I'm talking about, so when I go to these listings, right? I'm not sure they have it on theirs. Let's see if we can find it. Okay. So this right here. See this metal keychain here? Make an actual keychain with like a little end on it that would have like number one dad, or I love you, or happy Father's Day, whatever. You can put whatever you want on. You can put multiple things, so they could give it as gifts, or number one grandmother, or something like that. See all these little? These are all metal ones, but you can actually put a little saying on these, and you can make them bigger, and you could use those. I mean, see, they even have googly eyes. That's pretty neat. So you could put them on the googly eyes on there. So they've differentiated theirs a little bit, and then they have like the little tasks. So they've found ways to differentiate themselves. It's pretty cool. There's so many different things you could do with this. It's so varied. There's a lot of cool things you could do. It's not just about how many beads you have. It's not just about your kit. It's about the whole package. And you can add in multiple things that'll make yours just a little bit different, a little bit better. And then you got to get great pictures that's going to show what you have. So anyway, guys, I'm going to sign off tonight. I hope this gave you guys an idea of, you know, another product maybe that you could think about launching, and what I would be thinking about when I was going through this, kind of what was in my head. Know your product, understand the market at least somewhat, do research, you know, find out what people like, talk to people, ask them, would you like this and that? You know, what do you think about this kit? That's pretty neat, right? I mean, so why are you paying $36 for this one? Because it has a lot of extras. So you don't, you know, you see the price, like the $20. Maybe you can't compete with that. If you add in enough stuff, let's say you add in $3-4 worth of stuff, but you increase your price by $12-13 compared to somebody that's selling it for 20, you can compete. That's how you do it. It's not about just having the lowest price. People don't just buy the lowest price. They buy what grabs them. What do they see in the pictures? What can yours do for them that the others can't, you know? And people are going to notice they have 21,000 beads in this one versus the other one had like 5,000. That was $20. And it has a lot of other neat things with it. So just consider that. It's all about how you differentiate it. There's many ways to do that. Each product is going to be its own project. But take time with it. Take days out. You know, once you've collected maybe 20 different products, find the ones that grab you the most and the ones you feel like you can differentiate the most. That's how you make a winning product. So any questions or comments, I'd really appreciate if you guys subscribe. I know these videos are long. I'm hoping they help you guys out. If you guys have anything you want me to cover or go over, I'd be happy to do that. Please comment, subscribe. Have a great day, guys. God bless. Thank you.